Next new day, now we're talking overcrowding. So I got my class, and which was super excited. They looked very hungry for knowledge, hungry to know, hungry to get to know me, hungry to meet and have a conversation with this young teacher. But then, as I've mentioned in my previous one, I looked 17, 18, I was too tiny, with a big head, small body. I was quite a funny person. So the children wanted to get to know me because for some I looked like their brother, and they could relate, or they wanted to relate. And some, they were inspired to see such a young person standing in front of them. It was an amazing thing, you know. So he got into class, and overcrowding was an issue for me. It was an issue for me because when I did practicals, I went to affluent suburbs, you know, like I went to Rosebank, which I think we had 18. They had 18 students. I went to when you drive to Rosebank, that side. The only township school that I went to was in Kagiso. Kagiso at the top there, there's an Indian community called, what is it called? Azadville, yes, I remember now. Azadville. Went to Azadville to do my township practicals. Township practicals. And I went there for 2 weeks. And I think max that they had was 25 students in a class. So when I went to Sedimosang, I still love the school. I have strong love for the school. And if I go back and it happens that they ask me to be the principal or headmaster, I would be the headmaster for the school. I would, with no doubt, with no thinking twice. I'm not going to think twice. I'll go straight and be the headmaster. So overcrowding was of concern to me because children, where I had 40 children, 40 children, and again, the class that I was in, the separation, the breakdown with the other class was a sliding door, the garage door. So they sometimes they would open the door, and now you're gonna have about 80 children in class. Because especially when teachers were not there, like sick, you would open and we have 80 children in class. You will do nothing. You will do nothing with 80 students. I mean nothing. So let me keep it in my class, not the 80. So it's 40. And the class was not that big, so there was no spaces in between. So when you're standing in the front, you've got about 1.5 meter or a meter between the wall and where the student's desk starts. So that's what we have. And you cannot walk in between to check if they're working. And they were grouped in 6. So it was quite a lot. And man, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. You know the challenges that comes with overcrowding. In the afternoon, it's extremely hot, especially in the summer. It's quite hot, and man, it was unbearable. It was unbearable, and I was still fascinated. I still look at the faces. There were children that were good. And they would ask questions and you respond to the questions. But there were children that were struggling as such. Based on the number, you couldn't go down to individual and help them accordingly and address their learning issues, learning challenges because of the number of students. And again, we should run with the curriculum. You know, like curriculum, we have to teach this day, the next day we teach that, the next day we teach that. It was just running, not that impact. Like we're coming here to make an impact. It was not about that. It's about covering the curriculum. So it was a challenge. You know, all the things that come with overcrowding, you think about them, that's what I experienced. But just to reflect quickly on that, and my reflections are going to be positive and negative, but I will stick around the positives. So what's positive about overcrowding is, regardless of how many children we had in class, we still had that family bond. Like there was you couldn't pick up the difference between children who were from the middle class and the children who were from the really disadvantaged. When we come in one class, we make sure that we build that community, we build that oneness, Sedimosang, and which we sang the song. I don't know where the song comes from, but when we went to different trips, like Sedimosang Kibosa, so we were boss, man. Like we had that culture, oneness, and we supported each other, sharing. We laughed together. We laughed. The guys that I taught, I know once they see this video, and you will remember our laughing in the classroom, which was super amazing. I'm connected with the children. I love them so much. I would see them, I would high five, handshake, fist pump. It was cool. It was the coolest time ever, where I learned to teach. I learned to start working with people. I learned to start understanding the classroom routine. Because remember, this was my first time, the classroom routine, and how important was it. So they gave me that opportunity for me to explore what teaching is and what learning is. And I learned, because once you start working with the people, it's different. People teach you forever. And you learn every day, going in, going out, you continue learning. So that's what we have, that's what the challenges I had, and I still see the positive in all of those. So guys, we'll catch you tomorrow, and we are going to speak about learning from the people, learning from the students, and learning from the colleagues. See you guys tomorrow. Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe. We need to build a big, better, huge community. We can only do that if you subscribe. Peace.